Alright, so the scenario is all hell's broken loose. Now, it can be any of a number of disasters, man-made, natural, hurricane, earthquake, or the zombie apocalypse. Take your pick. The idea is, I don't have any transportation to get home, so I'm hoofing it. Now, since I'm working far from home today, it's going to take me more than 24 hours to get home. So I need to find a place to rest. I need to find a place to stop. I have with me my get home bag, and now I'm looking for a place to hide. As you can see, I'm in the middle of Chattahoochee National Forest, actually. So I'm gonna find a little place to set up a small camp. I sit down, have me a little bit of food, boil me up some water, have a cup of coffee, get rested up for the hike home. Alright, so I found a suitable place, I hope. It's, well, somewhat of a clearing. I'm gonna try and make it a little better. So there you go. Nice, simple, temporary shelter. Obviously, I don't want to spend the night in it. Could if I had to, I guess. But it'll keep any rain, give me a little bit of shade, keep the wind off of me if I need to. Right now I just want to sit down and get hydrated and eat a little bit of food and get ready for my hike. So I set my bag up with priorities. Now obviously you want your shelter, you want your water, you want your fire. You also want some food and you want security. My number one concern is shelter, okay? You know, it's that rule of 3. 30 days without food, 3 days without water. You can go about 3 hours and you could die because of the elements. Now, you know, I live in Georgia, so it's not a big deal. I'm probably not going to freeze to death anytime soon. It does get hot and it does get rainy. So shelter is still very important. I've been struggling trying to figure out, you know, what's the best way to do a shelter. Tents are expensive, especially the super light ones. Now, I wanted everything to fit in my go bag, but I need it to be under 20 pounds so I can just slap it on my back and hit the road. I can't hike that far with, you know, 40, 50 pounds on my back. That's ridiculous. Plus I want it to be small and very contained so I don't look like a jackass walking around with, you know, a full-size framed backpack everywhere I go, because I carry my go bag with me, my get home bag with me every day in my car, because I work outside of the office, so I want to be prepared. So for shelter, what I thought was, hey, U.S. military pup tents and one of their tarps, not tarps, one of their ponchos. And that's what I have in the bag. I've got one shelter half, and one poncho. Obviously the poncho can double as my rain gear. The shelter half is very easy. It's not very heavy. It was very easy to put up. I just used a little bit of paracord and some sticks, you know, for spikes. I got it set up in about 5 minutes. I've got the poncho down on the ground now just to sit on. Obviously I'd try to insulate a little bit and do some other things if I was really spending the night. And you could, you know, both of these have fasteners on it, so I could make this into a full shelter with the poncho if I needed to. If it was really cold or really raining hard, I could set it up as a nice little tent. As a matter of fact, I'll do some experimenting with it and I'll try to film that and see how it goes. But for right now it seems to be working. I like it. Nice, easy. It was pretty light. We'll keep experimenting with it and see how it goes. But for right now I'm keeping it. Now the second priority for me is fire. You know, fire just makes you comfortable. Fire's good for cooking and boiling your water. For most cases, since I'm trying to stay below the radar, I'm not going to build a campfire unless it's really cold. And then I'm probably going to do one of those Dakota fire pits, which I'm going to work on and see if that works out for me too. But for right now, I'm just using one of these. If you can see it there, it's just a, you know, one of those little fold-up camp stoves that you can get from the Army-Navy store, which is exactly where I got it. See it? And I can use my little fuel tabs and everything, and I can boil my water Cook me a little food if I have to. You know, whatever I need. And it seems to work really good. It's very light. The fuel tabs are light. It's very inexpensive. It cost me like $5. Takes up very little room, so it's definitely staying in the kit. Water. Now, honestly, you need to be carrying water with you. I carry a canteen, military canteen. I've got a holder, you know, over there on my pack. I do carry the cup with the canteen, and I carry the little pills that you can get, again, from the Army Navy store that disinfect the water. I've heard that tastes really bad. We're going to try that out here soon. But, you know, even if I run out of pills, I can always boil water if I can find it. Of course, I live in Georgia, so there's tons of creeks and rivers around. That's usually not a problem, but always, always, always carry some water with you. Priority 4, that's the food. Now, the food, that's something I'm still working on. These bagel bites, they seem to be pretty good. They're nice and tasty. They got cinnamon and raisins in them. Supposed to last for about a year, so that'd be good. Of course, I got the beef jerky. You know, a little bit of fruit. You want proteins, you want carbohydrates, and you want some vitamins. I also carry coffee, and I consider that part of my food because that is an appetite suppressant. It's keeping me, you know, get a little bit of caffeine, a little bit more energy, and also help hydrate me just a bit. I know it's not really considered anything with caffeine is not really good for hydration, but I don't think this is going to hurt me too bad. Plus, it keeps my spirits high. So that's what I'm carrying for food. I'm not carrying a lot, you know, just enough to keep my energy up so I can get home. It's very light. You know, it covers, like I said, my protein, my carbohydrates, a little bit of vitamins, and some caffeine. So far it seems to be working very well. I'm gonna keep experimenting. I'll throw some more in there. When I find some other types of foods, I'll let you guys know. Okay, now we're talking about security. Now, you know, security takes many different forms. To me, the best way to stay out of trouble is to stay away from people. If no one sees me, no one's going to try to do anything to me. You know, I am a concealed weapons permit holder. I do carry a pistol with me every day, everywhere I go. But I'd rather not run into trouble to begin with. So, for me, security-wise, if I think it's an extended amount of time that I'll be on the road trying to get home, I'm gonna try to do most of my movements at night. I'm gonna try to stay away from, you know, from major roads, major highways. I'm gonna try to, you know, stay on the edges. That's what I'm out here right now, in the middle of the woods, in the middle of nowhere, just trying to keep quiet, just trying to get my strength back up. And I'm really waiting for sunset so I can hit the road. Because again, I think the best security is staying away from trouble. Alright, that's it for this experiment. I'm going to pack everything up and try to hit the road. It's getting a little dark out here. I don't know if you can see all this, but let me pan it around for you. Say it's probably, you know, half an hour, 45 minutes before it hits sunset. So I'm going to try to pack everything up. Here's my little rest stop area once again. You can see all this came out of that little tiny bag right there. Less than 20 pounds. It's worked really good. I feel good. I've got a nice full stomach. Well, you know, I'm not stuffed, but I feel good. I'm definitely hydrated. Drank my coffee, something a little peppy. We'll go ahead and start packing everything up. I'll show you when we're done. See you in a minute. Alright, so there you go. I'm all packed up. Everything fit right back into my little tiny bag. That's where I was. That's where I was set up. You never know I was there. Unless you're really, really looking for me. So, let's hit the road.